Trading cricket, racing and football, you're listening to the Sports Trader Podcast, brought to you by thesportstrader.com.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our horse racing webinar for today. We're going to be looking at some race reading this afternoon. So rather than just showing you how to trade during the race, I'm just going to look at showing you some races and identifying the picks that we make, and importantly, when we pick them. So I'm going to go and show you a couple of videos on what's happened today and a couple of trades that I've done, so you get the feel for what I've seen and when I've seen it and how quickly we're sort of reacting to that. But then what's important is I want to go and do some live races with you. So if you guys are able to watch or listen, at least listen to me and watch what I'm doing, but then if you want to place the bets, you can. But this afternoon's not about sort of making money. It's about watching what I identify and where in the race I identify it, and then when I would get out. So I'm going to go and set up a few things and show you what we've got. So let's go and start with looking at this race here that we've done earlier. I'm sorry that's a bit blurry, but at least if you can see that, okay, then you should be able to see it. So what I'm going to show you is this horse called Youth Spirit. Okay, it's a Group 2 at Goodwood. It's just run 20 minutes ago. So Ryan Moore was on Battleground. Frankie Dettori was on King Zane, and Youth Spirit was ridden by my favourite jockey, Oisin Murphy. And I'm very reluctant to go against Oisin Murphy, and I'll never go against him ever when he's in the lead. I just won't trade that horse. Now, obviously, he won't always win when he's leading, but the return on investment laying Oisin Murphy when leading is very, very poor. So we're going to go and watch the race, and you guys can then see if you saw what I saw and why I would have laid it and what's happening. So let's go and check that out. My guy's coming out here in the white out of 8. Number 7 is coming with Ryan Moore is there on the favourite, and Frankie Dettori's over here somewhere. He's going to end up leading. But just watch the race and see what you think of this and what I might have seen that's made me do a lay.
They're off. 7 furlongs is the trip as they come out of the stalls. Youth Spirit just got barged by rivals either side of him. Thunder of Niagara on the right in green and yellow stripes is out well. King Zane, best turned out winner.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. So we'll go back and watch it again. And that's the important thing. It's sometimes vital to just watch the start. In the jumps racing, this will never happen. So you just tend to let them start, jump away, see how they settle, and then you get in. But in these 5, 6, and 7 furlong sprints, the start can be vital. You can lose the race in the first 20 metres, and that's what's happened to this guy. So we're going to go back and watch it again and just watch what happens when he comes out. Ryan Moore just smashes into him. Now, if he was half a length further in front, he would have got the advantage of the bounce and gone forward. But Ryan Moore's just kicked him out the way, bigger horse and everything, and he suffered a bit, and then look where he ends up. So let's go and watch the start again. Here he is in.
All in.
I don't know why they do it, but they'll do it twice, and the second time will be clear.
They're off. 7 furlongs. They're off.
Bang.
7 furlongs is the trip as they come out of the stalls. Youth.
So it looks like they're coming out at the first at the first at Swindon Dogs. It's like they come out and they smash into each other. So you can see there, he's already boxed in. Now the favourites, the 4 favourites are not in order. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. It's either this one with the yellow cap or this one. This one looks more like Frankie to me, so I think it's the yellow. So as soon as I've seen him get that smashed, like the instant that he's been hit, I've gone in and placed the bet. I've just gone click, click, click. Now, you know I do £10 bets, so that's how I can, rather than just do a 50 or 100, I just do tenors. So if I just want to get one bet in on something, if I think, oh, this might go up, I'll have a look. I can just put one in. And if I'm pretty sure, I can just click 3. And if I'm 100% that it's beat, I can just click instantly 5 times, bang, 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 and get them in. So that's why I use the stakes I use. So I've fired in a few here. The big man's just been given out LBW off Chris Wokes. So England now need 1 more wicket to win. I think that's about 5 LBWs in this innings, which is always going to happen on day 5, isn't it? So yeah, he's gone straight out here. Now I think he was trading at like 8 or 9 at the start, maybe 10. But as soon as I've seen that, even I was a bit slow. I think I've ended up getting around 13. We'll go and have a look in a minute what I got. But then let's just watch the rest of the race and see if he can get back into it and what happens. I'm going to I'll turn that sound right down. So you can see the 2 favourites. So Frankie's in the white. So Frankie's going to lead. And then your second favourite is in the orange outside the green and gold. Then you got Ryan Moore on the favourite and then Oisin Murphy stuck behind him. So at this stage, the price should blow out anyway because of the 4 favourites, 3 of them are in front of him, which is what you want. So you've got Frankie leading, Ryan Moore sitting in front of ours. So for Oisin Murphy to win this, he's got to go past 3 horses that are priced lower than him in the market. That's already pretty unlikely. But then you're just watching for a signal. Now, Ryan Moore's going to pull out. He has to. So once he pulls out, Oisin Murphy's either got to pull wider or go up the middle. So he follows him in. You can see him pushing now, look. But look at the one in the green and gold and the orange. They haven't moved yet. Ryan Moore's still barely touched him, but look at Oisin going flat stick behind him. Now when Ryan Moore asks for more effort and the orange one asks for more effort as well, they just hit the accelerator and leave him for dead. Now, it's my opinion, and it's just an opinion, that bump at the start and losing that ground is what's cost him the race. Look at, if that didn't happen, look how much he's lost the race by. He gets a lot closer, but that's all it takes in running to make your money. So has anybody got any questions on what we saw then? We're just going to go back and watch the first 10 seconds of this once more and then we'll be done with it. But just have a look again. This is what you're looking for the second time when it's clear. Look, bang. Now that will always cause a price to go up. Okay, right there. And then, of course, once he goes back to last, it goes back further and then away. So if you owned or trained that horse, you'd have to think that you've been a touch unlucky. Now, if you're just a punter and you're looking to find winners, you'd sort of mark that one down and say he's been very unlucky there. He's copped a bump and he's just been a fraction unlucky. I'd want to be backing him next time. So we'll just go and have a look what I did there. So this was the race here, Youth Spirit. So I got him I clicked 3 times, 13.5, 13 and 14.5. And then once he's come round the turn and he's really started to push, and Ryan Moore and the other guy on Devious Company hadn't really pushed yet, he drifted out and I just traded out at 85. I know it was throwing away £4.82, but I've learnt a long time ago that you're just better off to just get out and then that's the end of the deal. Like you don't need to worry about it coming back. So I'm going to show you the start again and I want you to tell me what I saw and then what you see after that. Mike, I was looking at all 4 of those favourites. Like one of the things I'll do before the race, so if we go and have a look at this race that's about to start at Goodwood, okay, if we go 2:47, if I've got time, I might not have time to do it. But what I'd try and do is just see, so Space Blues is coming out of 10, 6, 1, and 3. So I've seen the 1, I've missed it, it was in the inside. So the 1's come out nicely, Safe Voyage. Duke of Hazzard is up front, but he's pulling a bit, so I think he's going to drift, this second horse. This favourite's dropped right back, so I'll see if I can show you the race. It's over here. So this favourite is one that I'd probably want to go and get a lay-in on. I'll just go and quickly see who's on it. So we've got William Buick for Godolphin, but see him stuck right back here. Okay, and then Duke of Hazzard is sitting on the fence there in 4th. Safe Voyage is in 3rd, and so Dance a Lot, I can't see at this stage. He's stuck right back on the fence as well. So I think Sir Dance a Lot's probably the one I want to lay. He seems to be stuck right back in the pack, and he's pushing. Just going to get out of that there at 40. So Dance a Lot's getting pushed. He's right back here there he is, right back there. We're about to get out of it now. He's 3rd last. Here it comes. Job done. 7 quid made. So here he comes now. If he comes back to win now, I hope he does. You're glad that you're out. But that favourite got a nice run. I thought he was the furthest one back, but he smashed it. So that just shows you, when I say I don't do a lot of research, I don't need to know a whole lot before the race. I just trade what I see. So it didn't matter to me if that Sir Dance a Lot had won his last 10 races in a row. If he's struggling today at the back of the pack and he's boxed in and he's the first to push, then his 10 in a row count for nothing. He's not going to win today. So that's what I'm looking for, to do that. But let's go back and watch this race and see if you spot what I spot. So let's just watch the start and tell me what you see. You'll probably get to see the start twice, once blurry, once clear.
Veroff for Division 2 of the Ayrshire Cancer Support Handicap Stakes. A good start near side by Martin's Brig, also breaking pretty well under the near side rail is some.
All right, so what did you see there? What horse did it caught our eyes? Stall 8, Shandy said 7, Scott said 1, John said 7. Do you see how everyone sees different things? That's what's so great about trading. So let's go back, and first of all, we're going to focus on what I saw, and that is the cream-coloured silks in the 1 box. So I want you to watch the 1 come out. Probably the second time when it's clear will be better. But watch him come out, and then I'm going to keep the race running and watch what happens after he comes out and starts to settle down.
Veroff for Division 2 of the Ayrshire Cancer Support Handicap Stakes. A good.
So you see he's come out near last and he's chucked his head right in the air. And so now you're looking at him because that's what's attracted your eyes. But then watch his head here, look. He's still pulling and chucking it up in the air. Look, he's still not settled. He's still just fighting the jockey, using more energy. So he's second last and he's chucking his head everywhere. Look, he still won't settle. Now he starts to calm down a bit, but now he's used half his gas and he's still second last. So now you look where the favourite is, and the first and second favourites are first and second. This Wagyu, what's it called? I'm just going to get this up and then I'll show you something. So that's Wagyu and Ventura Express, the first 2 favourites. They're fighting it out, first and second. And then my guy he's going to finish. See, he's gone. He's right out the back there. He's used all his energy. He can't find anything in the finish. He's still going to finish second last. And Mr. Wagyu goes on to win. So I've got a guy that's I'm trialling some horse tips with, mate of mine that I used to work with in London. He's just a racing anorak. He just sends all these horses through that he thinks, and I'd never back any of them or look of them because that's not what I do. I do this. I'm not interested in backing a horse and cheering it if it wins or whatever. But he sends them to me every day religiously. So he said, in the 2 o'clock at air, I'm hoping it's between the first 2 in the market, Mr. Wagyu and Ventura Express. And the tip that he sent me was Mr. Wagyu. So my thinking, the way I traded the race was, well, he's a great judge. So if he likes Mr. Wagyu and the third favourite, Ventura Express, I'm going to keep my eye on this second favourite, which just happened to be that one. And that's why I caught that jump, because I was watching him. to see how he started. And I thought, well, if my mate doesn't like, out of the top 3, if he likes 1 and 3 and he doesn't like number 2, I'm going to watch that one and see if it's a later back. Because I don't like sort of backing the others and, just hoping that they come down in price. I lay to back. It just feels Chinese to me, backing first and coming down. They never pan out. I can back a horse that leads and it doesn't come down in price. I never understand it. So I do my lays. And so, Dublin Rocker. So I just watched him. I'll see if I've got the screenshot for what I did. So as soon as I've seen that jump at the start, I just changed to a 50 and laid it and just thought, well, that will fly up based on that start. So I've only done the one trade on that one. And then when he went back to last and he was still pulling and just would not settle, it just flew out straight away for me and was just able to exit and then not worry about the race. So they're the sort of things that we're going to look for. Okay, so a lot of the stuff in the sprints you're going to see at the start. So I'm going to run you through my process now of how I do it and what I'm looking for. Okay, so then it should be a bit easier for you guys to know what I'm looking at. So let's go and have a look at either the next race at Ayr. We'll do the 3 o'clock at Ayr. That gives us 4 minutes. So here's the process. Open up the market. See, that's it. That's all over for England. Strangled down the leg side. All out 129. So anybody that backed under 200, you get the biscuits. So that's very good. Yep. Right, so here's the process. Open up the market and then identify which horses we're interested in. This one's dead simple. We're interested in the top 4. Basically anything under 10 I'm happy to look at. If there's too many of them under 10, I'll jump out and I'll never look at more than 4 horses. So 4 horses is fine for this. We're going to look at 4. Okay, so I'll go and have a look. Then I'll go and see who's on them and just give the jockey a rating. Holly Doyle, so she gets a 9 out of 10. Kevin Stott, he gets a 7 out of 10. PJ McDonald, he gets an 8 out of 10. And Barry McHugh, he'd get a 7 out of 10. So then if I want to, I can change them around in the order, in my jockey order. So now I've got Holly and PJ McDonald and then the other 2. But I'm basically looking at these 4 horses. Then I'll go and look at the barriers, and it'd be better for me if there's 2 next to each other, because then I'll just be able to focus on them. So we're coming out of stall 10 for Holly and 8. That's fine. 8 and 10's fine. 2 and 3. So either way. So now my decisions become even easier. I definitely want to keep Holly and PJ on side. So I've now broken it down to 2 horses. I'm just going to watch barriers 2 and 3 at the start, and I know where my mouse is. It's going to be on one of these 2 horses. So if one of them blunders badly at the start, it's just going to be a case of, like, if I just go over to training mode, so these bets don't count, so don't do them. I'm just sitting here, and if I see the blue one miss the start, it's just a case of bang, bang, bang. I'm in. And then it doesn't matter where you bet on the ladder. That's the great thing about Betfair. It'll give you the best price. So even if I go and back it at 1,000, lay it at 1,000, it goes and lays it just gave me a price of 5.3. So you can do it up here at 8. If I lay at 8, I got 5.3. So you don't have to worry about hitting that exact box if you're laying. If you can just be up here and just go bang, 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 trigger them in, and then it flies up and you just hit the exit. Same over here. If I wanted to, this one misses the start, I can just hit this pink ladder anywhere really. Bang, bang, bang. And you say I got 7.4 on all 3 of them. And then if it pops up 5 ticks, bang, out you get. So that's what we're trying to do. Okay. Right. So let's go and have a look at what's happening in the market. So this favourite is starting to drift a little bit. They're really starting to back Trumpet Man. Eastern Sheriff is drifting a little bit as well. And these two are fairly flat, but you're getting a bit of movement now. So go and get the race up. Oh, no, I'm not going to trade it. I'm just going to show you. You guys can trade it if you like. So get your Bet Trader ready or whatever software you're using. And we're going to focus on 6 and 9 because we want to keep these two favourites with our good jockeys on side. They're on Team Badger, right? We need them running for us. And that's the great thing about laying first is once you lay a horse, every other donkey in the race is on your team. Okay, so Eastern Sheriff is coming out of stall 2 and Sociologist is coming out of 3. So I will go and get the race up. It's probably not the best race anyway because what's happened is this is the longest race of the day. You want to do it on the sprints, but I'll still find you something. So now we just find where they are. So Holly Doyle is running 3rd on the favourite. Trumpet Man is sitting in 2nd. And then we've got Eastern Sheriff is sitting in 5th back here. And then we've got Sociologist, looks like it's leading. So there's our 4. So there's 4th favourite, 2nd favourite, and this Eastern Sheriff. So the one I'd be looking at the moment is Eastern Sheriff. And I'm also looking at this leader coming back to the field. So we're still getting ready to click on either 6 or 9. So I'm just going to focus on the race and have a listen here. This leader may have gone out a bit quick. They're not too keen to run him down. It's a long race. You don't want to be going out too fast. So at the moment, obviously, they're all still going really well. There's nothing to see at the moment, as you would expect, because there's such a long way to go. Now, Holly Doyle's just starting to get a bit animated on this favourite. Trumpet Man in front's going better. The leader's going better than Holly and the one inside. So of the 4 at the moment, Holly's going the worst. I think Stockbridge Tap's going to rise. So get ready to lay that one as well. Leader's going well. The 4th's going well. It's the 2 favourites that are struggling at the moment. But they're all still in it. No trade yet. No trade yet. Trumpet Man, go. The 8 horse. Holly's going to run him down and he won't catch the leader. So get out at 20. So get out now. Job done. Now it doesn't matter if it's 1, but it's up to 27, 42, 60. So you've got to be out now. If it wins now and you lose money, it's your own fault. Here comes this blue one as well, this Eastern Sheriff. It just got blocked there. Might win. I think this leader's off and gone though. Is he going to tire? But look at our guy, the grey one. Going to finish distressed. Here comes the other guy. He's nailed him. Whooshka. Okay. So what I managed to do there was get on Trumpet Man at 7.98 and I got out at 17.50. So let me just bring some stuff back in here and see how you guys did on that. I've put them around the wrong way. Right. So Nigel's just worked out. He spent all this time trying to lay a price and you could have done it anywhere. Bonus. Yeah, look, there is a danger with it. Okay. There is a danger with doing that. So just go and show you something on the next race so that you understand what can go wrong if you do that. It generally won't on UK racing, but I'll go and show you anyway. I'll just show you on training mode again. So if you go over here and let's say that you wanted to lay this horse at 3. So you're just hovering your mouse up here so you're sure you bet. If you do go click, click, click at this point, there is a small possibility that you get matched at that price. Now, the only way that that happens is if all this money disappears in the millisecond before you place your bet. But Betfair will always give you best execution. So watch now, I'm guaranteed to get 305. So I click there at 380 and I get matched at 305. But in running, when it gets volatile, you see money coming in, disappearing. It's there, it's gone, it's up, it's down. If you're extremely unlucky, Nigel, and you clicked here at 380, you might get 380. You will definitely 100% never get a worse price, but you've just got to be aware that if you fire in 5 bets at 380, there's a 1% chance that you'll get 380. You might get 370. You might get 350. And see, sometimes you'll see on my screenshots, you'll see I might have been matched at 10.17. And people, how do you get matched at 10.17? Well, Betfair will give you best execution. So it might take some money from 9.8, some from 10, some from 10.5. And the average of those 3 prizes it's taken would give you 10.17. So that's why you can see a random amount now and then. It won't always be the exact price you get. So see, if I clicked, say there was money here at 350 and 345, and I clicked for 100 at 350, I'd get matched on both. And so my Betfair thing might say 3.47 or 3.48. That's my average. Does that make sense? That's why you might see obscure amounts. Strummer, it is being recorded, yes. All right, all the best, mate. I'll see you later. So Shane laid Funny Man as felt it was first off the bridle and was up and down, not going anywhere. Yep, that's fine, mate. And Tony said, I laid Funny Man. Can't believe how long it was, or how low it was for ages. Trust your eyes. A lot of that, Tony, currently is because there's no on-track traders. They will see that a second or two before us and they will start to drift. And I've had to learn a new way to trade in running since lockdown has been lifted, because what normally happens is, let's just say this race is in running now, okay? And this horse here starts to struggle, this Santiago. The on-track traders see it and all this money disappears and it starts flying up. And I think, right, they've spotted it. And I'll just go up here and go, click, click, because they've just taken all that money 2 seconds before me. Now, I get a worse price. That's my downside. But I get the advantage of knowing which horse the on-track traders are smashing into. We don't have that now. You and I now can see this horse is beat. We're going, well, that's beat. Like you've just seen with Funny Man Tony. And you're going, well, why is it so low? I'm going to lay it. Well, look, it's struggling. Why is it so low? I'm going to lay it again. Because the on-track traders aren't 2 or 3 seconds in front of us smashing it up out of the way for us. So it's an advantage and it's a disadvantage. Sometimes it can make you panic. You're laying a horse like that one there that we just did, that you and I can see is beaten. It's struggling and the others are going to go past it. But the price doesn't go out. And so you start to second guess yourself and think, oh, have I made a mistake? Have I done something wrong? Oh, no, come on, hurry up. And it seems to be taking a lot longer for the prices to come up. And I think all of you that have joined us today from the in-running racing room, welcome along. For those of you that are here for the first time, you would agree with me that the time it's taking horses to drift is taking a lot longer. And Shane's just mentioned Ireland. Now, Ireland is a whole different kettle of fish because they're a couple of seconds again ahead of us because of the satellite. So what's got to happen from Ireland is that they're getting the pictures on track and then it's delayed a couple more seconds than the UK races. So we'll see these big moves just before we see the horse sort of move. So in Ireland, over the jumps in particular, you could see a horse go from 7 to 1,000, like 1 second before it's about to jump. And then, of course, it falls and you go, oh, right. Because they've seen it probably 3 seconds before you. And yeah, Scott's just said he scratched his trades yesterday so many times because of that, yet they all went on to lose. So Scott's had a few not losing trades, but he didn't win a few trades because he's gone, that's beat, and he's laid it and the price hasn't gone up. And so he's thought, oh, maybe I'm wrong, I better get out. You trade out and then it goes on to lose. Yeah, and that's why, Scott, because the on-track traders are not moving the market for us as they normally would. So does that make sense to everyone before we go and watch another race? No, the on-track traders are sitting in the hospitality suite in air conditioning on their laptops, like we're doing with a screen and with a nice big screen there, but they're watching the direct feed from the track. So they're not actually watching the race. There's no one on the phone telling anyone what to do. They're sitting there watching the feed. So what happens, the way it works is the company goes to the racetrack to broadcast the race. So Racing TV, they've got an OB van there, which is outside broadcast van. So then they go and set the cameras up wherever they want to have them all over the track. That hooks straight into the on-track feed. So what you're seeing on track is millisecond live, like it's as it's happening. But then what happens to those pictures is it goes to the OB van, up to the satellite, and then down to our satellite at home. Now that takes approximately 2 or 3 seconds. So the guys that are sitting in the air conditioning on track watching the TV, just as we are, they're getting the picture 2 or 3 seconds in front. Now there's a couple of videos around. I'll try and find one for you guys. I'm doing another webinar on Thursday on racing. So I'll try and find the video that shows the comparison. I've done a couple before. I think Peter Webb may have done one as well. But if you just go and do a quick Google on the comparisons, you'll be able to find it on YouTube or something. But I'll find it for you and stick it in the racing room and in 100 Club Room and in the webinar club room for you. And you'll be able to see the comparison between what they're seeing and what we're seeing. Now, a lot of people think you can't do what I'm doing because we're at home and the advantage the on-track traders have is too big. And they're right to some extent, but they're not to another extent. The good thing is the vast majority of on-track traders are trying to back the winner. So they're trying to find which horse is going to win. They're not looking at the back where we're looking. Okay, so that helps us. And then if I see that this favourite Stradivarius starts getting smashed down, I know, well, they're all backing it. So I can go and lay this one really quickly as it flies up. So I use it to my advantage. I like to know what the on-track traders are doing 2 seconds before I have to make a decision. I've turned that to my advantage. I find this harder. What we're doing today is harder because we're all on a level playing field. There's nobody with that 2 second advantage making their move. You know, imagine if you're driving a car and you're in front and there's 3 roads ahead of you and you've got to pick which way you're going to go. You got that hesitation, right? You're not sure. But imagine if the car in front of you, the on-track trader, he's 2 seconds ahead of you and he makes the decision for you. Bang, he's gone left. So now you don't need to think. Your brain just goes, turn left. That's it. Rather than go, oh, which one? So I let them make that decision for me. And then the only payoff for that is, and I'm certainly willing to accept it, is whereas them on track, if they're laying this horse, they'll get 292, 294. I might get 350, 370, even 4. But if you're laying this horse here, Santiago, against Stradivarius, wouldn't you rather lay it at 4, knowing that the guys on track have seen it 2 seconds before you, then take a guess here and hope that it goes up, which is what we're dealing with now. That last race, what was he called? Trumpet Man. He finished last down here. We saw Trumpet Man, but you had so much time to get that trade in after I mentioned it. But the on-track traders, by the time I'd said that, normally the price would have been gone. So Darren's saying, you remember the time I watched those guys on the SIS feed in the trading room in Warrington laying fallers before others seen them at home? That's exactly it, Darren. And if you've got a massive bank, you can get the SIS feed direct to your house, but I think it costs about $6,000 a month or something. So you'd want to be pretty good at it. The bots are just working off market percentages, but let's go and have a look at this race. It's really only a 2-horse race. All you've got to decide here is, does Stradivarius have Santiago beat, and see if you can get on it before it's beat, or if we're going to lay Santiago. The only other thing we could do is if this Naif Road or something led and came down to about 8 or 10, can't see it happening in a million years, then you could lay it. But let's go and have a listen. Great horse, this one. I think he wins again. Okay, so it's good. It's 2 miles, so there's no big danger about the start. They're just going to jog. Stradivarius is just going to sit and follow Santiago. And so all you need to do now is just watch those first 2 horses. And as I said, Naif might lead. I was just guessing. I didn't have a clue. But he's going to lead. But I'll tell you what, if he comes down under 10, I'll be laying it, this leader, but it won't. So all you have to watch in this race is Santiago and Stradivarius and see which one starts pushing first. Now, I don't think I'm going to get 3, but I'm happy to get, 360, 370, 380 if I think it's beat. Let's go and have a look. Actually, I'll move that over there for you, and then I will go and get BetTrader and see what I can do. And I'll tell you if I lay it when I lay it. I'm just going to put the sound on. See how the prices have barely moved because they're just jogging. It's just going to be a sprint finish. They're all still cruising at the moment. Everything's going lovely. You can't trade anything else because the other prices are 170, 180, 150. So it's a 3-horse race. And I don't think Naif Road's worth laying, even though it's 28. It's not going to win, but the risk versus reward's not worth it. If you lay it at 28 and it wins, you've now got to go and trade the next 29 races in a row to break even. Just leave it. We'll just see how we go. We might not even do a trade on it. You don't have to trade. Both still going really well. They're going really, really slowly here. They're just crawling, so it's just going to be sit and sprint. So just watching the jockey's hands here. None of them have moved yet. Not a muscle. Now, Frankie doesn't want to get boxed in here. He's got himself a bit boxed. Oh, now I'm getting ready. Frankie's drifting. He still hasn't moved on either of them. The leader's gone. You could lay the leader. I'm going to lay Frankie. I've laid Stradivarius. I got 230. He's got me beat, Frankie. He's too good, isn't he? So I just want to go and see how high he went. I didn't get out of it. I've lost 13 quid. I really just thought he was beat. Let's see what he got to. He didn't get very high at all. He got to a high of 3.6. I got him at 2.3. So he only went to 3.6 there. But if we watch the replay, if they show it, if you're watching here, look, I didn't really pay enough attention to how far out they were. See, he's pushing here, and Ryan Moore hasn't moved yet. Now he's moved on the leader. Frankie's going flat stick. And I thought he's going to get boxed in there. I thought, well, he's in real trouble here. He can't go anywhere. And if this horse, this grey one, had a bit more power to keep him in, we might have got there. But he let him out. He really looked in trouble. And then he didn't find a whole lot. So I'll move that one back in. You can see there that I've got him at 232. And he went on to win. So I've lost 13. Not a big deal. But I tell you what, it's better than what I was suggesting. You know how I said you don't want to lay that Naef? He's nearly beaten him, you know. He's come second and he's only got him in the last couple of strides. I want to just quickly look how low that Naef traded as well, Naef Road. He's traded as low as 206. So if you'd laid him at 28 and he's hitting even money, you'd start to be a bit worried about if you'd done the right thing. So of the three, the one that faded was Santiago with Ryan Moore on it. Right. Have we got any questions from that? What have we got? Live versus Betfair, video versus Sky Racing. Shane, what have you've inquired about something in Ireland, and as far as you're aware, most tracks here don't offer it. What's that? The on-track trading. The online traders here, they hire out the conference rooms for every. Yeah, they rent the suites out for like, you know, it costs you $40,000 a year to hire them, and then Ivan comes along and lays the loser for 500. So Darren said the hardest thing sometimes is doing nothing and end up looking for something that isn't there. That's a big thing, Darren. We spoke about that in 100 Club in the first week, is pushing a trade. Remember, I said we might not end up doing a trade here. And I'm watching the replay of the race again. I don't know if they've taken it off Betfair now, but they're just showing the race again. And for the first 3 quarters of the race, they were just jogging, nothing moved. So I normally would be out by then. And so what caught me out in that race is, because I'm not normally in at this time of the race, is just how far they had to go. Normally by 2 furlongs out, I'm done and dusted. So I'm not really paying that much attention to how long's left in the race. And I wasn't listening. I was just watching to see if the horses beat. And if it was a furlong further into the race, we would have won. But as it turns out, they had a bit further to go than I thought. That grey horse didn't keep my guy in. This Eagles by Day couldn't keep Stradivarius in that pocket and allowed him to get out and win by sort of half a length. But if he'd kept him in for another 2 or 3 seconds, Frankie wouldn't have won the race. That Naef Road would have won it. But it's just interesting. So the good thing is, see, on the air race, we won £11 and we only lose 13 there. That's the key. If you're going to have losses, always try and keep them around the same size as the wins, because then it's only one race to get your money back. What's interesting at the cricket, I'm just watching the other channel. They're doing the presentations, and it is absolutely bucketing down at the cricket. So England got the job done with about 15 minutes to spare, because they wouldn't be playing now, I can tell you. They've all got umbrellas, and it's very, very heavy. The West Indies must feel so hard done by. So, yeah, look, there's £13 and there's 8. So over the 2 races, you're down a £5. What you don't want is to be making 8 or 10 or 15 a race and then lose 300, because that's going to take you all day or half of the next day to get it back. So that's okay. No big deal. We move on. Let's go and have a look at another one, and we'll see if we can pick this one up at air. Okay, so what I'm doing here is another 4-horse race. Very simple. 470, 420, 560 and 6. Nice and easy. So Ironclad, Paul Mulrennan, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. David Allen, 7 out of 10. Paddy Mathers, 7 out of 10. Holly Doyle, 9 out of 10. So now I'm going to put medal winner over there. I want to keep her on my side. So I've now made it a 3-horse race between Ironclad, Master of the Stars and Glasses. Now we'll go and look the Glasses up. Now we'll go and look at the barriers. So you've got 5, 2 and 3. So that's going to be nice and easy for it. Excuse me 1 second. So they're going to be nice and easy to see. But again, this race, we're not going to see anything substantial at the start because it's 1 mile 2. They're just going to lob out. Those races where you're really looking for something at the start, you're looking at the 5, 6, 7 furlong sprints. Anything above that, you're not really going to get many huge opportunities at the start like that. So Scott's just put something up. Can I do a list of jockeys in order for us? No, it's all just in my head, mate. Don't listen to me. That's just my opinion of the jockeys. You'll get some experts that say, you know, Paddy Mathers is a far better jockey than Holly Doyle. And who am I to argue with an expert? I just rate what I see. And at the moment, Holly Doyle could win on a rocking horse. She's riding that well. So I just don't want to get against her. So if you go and have a look at this site here, we'll go and have a look at reject all of them. So here's your jockeys here. Ben Curtis. See, they're the two. And I haven't even seen this site before. But they're the two that I'm wary of, is Ben Curtis and Holly Doyle at the moment and Oisin Murphy. Anyone else I'm happy to sort of take on. So there's PJ McDonald there. You know, I gave him an 8 out of 10 before, and I gave a Holly a 9. I'd give Ben a 9. I didn't realise Tom Marquand was doing as well as he has, so I need to start rating him a bit better. Last year, Luke Morris was on fire, winning everything. Not so good now. Sylvester de Souza's going all right. Jim Crowley's good jockey. And then the rest you can sort of take or leave. But the ones I'm really wary of is, you know, Curtis, Holly Doyle, Oisin Murphy. They're, you know, 8 out of 10s there for PJ. Andrea Azzini wins a lot on the all-weather as well. You can go down and see them all. But you always got to be wary in big races of what Ryan Moore's riding, although he's having like one of the worst years since I've been watching him ride. He's just out of form. Frankie's going all right. We've got a lot of critics of Frankie in our horse racing room, and I don't argue with it. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but yeah, they think he's past it, but he just keeps knocking out the winners. Well, let's go and have a look at this race and see what's happening. So they're backing Holly Doyle, right? She's coming right down in price here. Ironclad's fairly flat, and these other two are sort of drifting. So I'm going to keep an eye on Master of the Stars and Glasses Up. So I'm going to go and move that out the way again for us. And I will put that there so I can trade it, and then I'll get the video up for you guys. And we'll see what we can see. So we'll go to Air 330 and make that full screen. That's as big as you can get it, unfortunately, on racing TV. All you can really do is sort of zoom it up a bit. Is that too loud? Can you guys still hear me over that?
The stars to complete the line.
Is that all right?
Stall number 2 under David Allen.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Master Stars walking forward.
Right, so we're not going to see a lot from the start, so don't panic, unless it just misses it really badly.
Centre race. They're off. Away they go for the QTS sponsor.
No, it started all right. So Glasses Up has started at the back.
Medal winner towards the inside. Ironclad's right up to the pace.
So Master of the Stars is
Storm Ahead tucks in fifth position in front of Master
is just in front of him, third last, and our other guy, Glasses Up, is second last. Holly Doyle's leading. She's on the grey. And then Ironclad sitting right behind it in third. So your two favourites are first and third. Holly seems to be in a bit of trouble on this thing at the minute. And the ones we're looking at are at the back. The dark blue that's second last, and Master of the Stars just in front of it. Master of the Stars is looking a bit of a rough ride at the minute. Holly seems to have settled down on hers. This Ironclad's going really nicely. I don't think it's going to matter which one of these we lay, Master of the Stars or Glasses Up. I don't think it'll matter because I think that Holly and the guy in third have got them both covered. Master of the Stars is pulling a bit. He's got a handful of horse. So I think they're all still going all right. But the two we're looking to lay are both behind. This thing in third's going really nicely. So I'm getting ready. Just watching. It's going to start happening in a minute. Here we go.
Towards the final 3.5 furlongs, and Humbert still there by a half length to Medal Winner racing second. Ironclad and Dark Rock Nagar right in behind them.
Neither yet.
Picking up well down the centre.
I think it might even end up being Holly here.
Very deep on the extreme left. Looking for in between horses, Master of the Stars. Al Razmar still at the
Not seeing anything yet.
chances here. Back inside.
No, I'm staying out of it now. Stay out. Stay out.
Through to a lead on the far side. Here's Glasses Up right over the top towards the near side. Master
It's the two of them's going to fight it out.
Those five helmets. Glasses Up and Master of the Stars.
Great decision to stay out.
Back towards the final half.
Wow.
There we go. Glasses
Look at
Up,
this.
Stars towards the inside. There.
Ah!
Glasses Up, Master of the Stars. Glasses Up was one again in there. Master of the Stars back in second, tight behind.
Listen to me. Doesn't matter which one of these you lay. They're going to end up behind the other two. And they were the first ones beat. So I did nothing on that one. Good decision as well. But I thought Holly was struggling early. Then she settled. Then she did look beat coming into that straight. I'll show you on the replay. I'll show you when I thought she was beat. Because when you look at her starting to push, the one behind her was absolutely cruising. And I think he must have just got smashed. Completely smashed. But we'll just watch the replay here.
And it's close also for third and fourth place.
I'm just watching the replay, and Holly Doyle has come right in on that second favourite, and just, she might get a foot. Oh, they've gone past it here. But this guy here in the pink cap was coming through the gap to win the race. And Holly Doyle and the one on the fence, she had the whip in her right hand, and she's moved in. And as he's put his head between the two of them, she's absolutely. Watch this. Here, watch Holly Doyle in the grey. He comes to stick his head through here, and watch what happens to him. So he goes to go through here. Here she comes. Look, bang. There's the first one. Watch the second one. She comes in again. Bang, and that's him gone. Now she changes whip hands, but his race is all over. His race is all over. And the two that we thought were the outsiders are going to fight it out. And Glasses Up wins by a bee's dick. Yet that was the one that was drifting during the race because it was at the rear of the field of the four. Right. So did that one make sense to you guys? Do you see what I'm trying to do? Martin, I'll do a video on it for you. And, you've picked up that I said Holly was struggling in the back straight. It was fairly obvious to me what I saw. So the best way for me to do it is go and get a video of the race and show you, and then slow it down and show you. Now, it is something that you need to learn. You've got to appreciate that I've watched tens of thousands of races. So these little niggles that I see daily, and I pick them up a lot quicker than most of you. But that's why I get the results I get, because I'm seeing the stuff before most of you. But it will come with time. Once you can read a race, now you don't need to know anything about horses or trainers or form or anything. You just need to watch the signals. Now, if you don't own the in-running guide, for those of you that don't have it, I've written a book showing you all of this here. So it's this in-running guide. So you get the ebook, but it's got about 40 plus videos of me showing you all this stuff, Martin, like what I'm going to show you in this video I'm going to make this afternoon to show you that Holly Doyle race. But what I'm going to highlight and show you in that video, this book is full of it. It covers jumps racing, flat racing, slow races, fast races, jockey signals, all the stuff I look for to make the decisions. And, you know, the only difference between me and most of you guys at the moment is if you've got the book, you now know what to look for. I'm still just going to be a little bit quicker than you. But with time, that will come. Most of the guys in the in-running room now are just as good as me. Wendy's phenomenal. She's winning day after day now at it. If you follow Wendy in there or on Twitter, she's got the hang of it. She knows what to look for. She's worked out which races suit her, which ones to avoid, which jockeys to avoid. She's nailed it. So it can be done. But if you haven't got that book, I highly recommend you go and get it. And if you want to get it and you haven't got it, if you use the code WEBCLUB, just one word, WEBCLUB, that'll give you 50% off. So I'll give you 50% off today if you want to go and get hold of it, all right? And once you're in the book, you just click on a video. So I'll go and see if I can show you what we've got very quickly. I'll just go and find it here and show you current ebooks. So we want in-running guide. I'll just open that. And then once you open it, I know you can't see it at the moment, but you'll see it in a minute. Then when you scroll down, you just click a link and it takes you to this page here. All in-running videos. So here they are here. Now you can only see these if you own the book. All right? Then you can't access them without it. So the book's not that hard to read. It just tells you a little bit about each thing, but then you come and watch this video. So I'll go and show you one before we go. So we'll go and watch this this Simplify. All right, we'll watch Simplify before we finish up. Show you what's in there, if I can. When you're first starting out, one of the easiest things can be to just break a race down into. I'll turn that up and I'll make it full screen. Here we go.
They're all in.
When you're first starting out, one of the easiest things can be to just break a race down into a two-horse race. So when you're looking all over the shop for some signals here, just break it down to two. So I'm going to look at the two favourites. The favourite, the pink, the second favourite, the blue. So clearly the favourite's going to have a very clear run. There's nothing in front of him. And the blue one's got nice cover. So you're just looking for the signals now of which one's going to crack first. And you don't have to worry about any other horse in the race because every one of them's on your side. Because we're going to lay one of these, which means the other one plus all the others are on our side. So we're just looking at the body language now, and so far there's absolutely nothing that you can see that indicates which one you should lay. They're both sitting perfectly well, and we're going to start getting down to the business end now. So we're just looking at this favourite that's going really nicely in front. Jockey hasn't moved his body, his arms, and neither has the one here in the blue. So we're just going to keep an eye on him. Now we start to see the blue one. Look, he's starting to push. The favourite hasn't moved. The jockey on the blue one pulls the whip through, goes a bit sideways, really starts getting animated. The pink one still hasn't moved. Now he starts to shake him up. But the blue one's been going for a few seconds longer. So use these camera angles when they go past. You can see he's still a length in front there. So the guy in the blue's been going for longer, and he's still got to make up a length. Now that angle there's deceptive, but we know the pink one's still a length in front, and the one inside the blue appears to be in front of him as well. So you would now be able to exit the lay
side
but you
pretty
can
well.
see that
There's
the pink
London
one
Arch
is
still
now
running on,
overwhelming
and
both
it's
of them, the
London
favourite.
Arch to the near
He
side from
took a lot longer
Salzada,
to get
and
going. The blue
London
one's been
Arch
running for a
goes
few
on to
seconds
collect
more
over
and
Ben
just runs
Curtis.
out of puff.
London Arch does it
So
nicely
it
in the
was,
end.
again, a
Salzada
fairly
back in second.
straightforward lay
Pitcher's point
between
beat
the
with
two.
Jim Bob Dispute third.
So there's our trades, a scratch trade to get the video up, and then laying at 395 when we first saw it push, and out at 24. So use the camera angles. There's 3 of them at Newcastle to just double check how your 2 horses are going. But basically all we've done there is break that down into a 2-horse race. Clearly saw the pitcher's point cracked first, and that was the lay, got out fairly quickly. Okay, and when it doesn't work is what happens with Stradivarius. He clearly cracked first today. He was the first one to really push. Frankie got really animated on him and started pushing. Go back and watch the race if you want some confirmation. And if that other grey thing had just kept him in for 2 more seconds, then we would have got the biscuits. But he's a cracking horse. He wasn't 1.5 pre-race for no reason. And he just had the quality to grind them down over the extra yards and got the money. Oh, so you've got the book, Martin? Yeah, so you know, I'm adding new videos to that all the time. So you can see here, if you just can pick the videos out, you go all in running videos, and we've got, 3 mile leader, signals that you're looking for, positioning, multi-runners, basic errors. There's loads of them, and I'm making more all the time. So the one I make this afternoon, I'll probably add to it as well. All right, so they're all in there. You get the lot, plus any that I add. You'll just be able to go to this page, and as I add them, you'll keep seeing them. All right, you also get our Telegram room. So we've got a in-running horse racing room as well on Telegram for book owners. I think there's about 900-something people in there now. It's a great community, and people are in there all the time helping out, telling you what they're doing, showing their trades and stuff like that. All right, so thanks very much for your company today. Go and enjoy the rest of the racing. I'll catch you again for more racing fun on Thursday. Tomorrow night, if you wish to join us, we're doing the second leg of the championship playoff between Brentford and Swansea, kicking off around 7:15, the webinar, and the match starts at 7:30. So I'm going to have a day off the racing webinars tomorrow, but we'll be back on Thursday. All right, so thanks very much for your time. And I think we got some cricket on Thursday as well, so we'll see what's coming up. But I think it's just the one-day international between England and Ireland. I won't be trading that. England will be 105. They'll win easily. There's nothing to be done there. So we'll just leave that. I'll just do some racing. But hope you learned something. That's what we're looking for in the signals, and I will talk to you next time. Bye for now.